Mic off. Mic on.
The wise men at their end know dark is right, because their words had forked no lightning. They do not go gentle into that good night. Good men, the last wave by, crying how bright their frail deeds might have danced in the green bay. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. They do not go gentle into that good night.
What is going on, guys? Welcome to the stream. Just gonna get my audio levels right here. Hopefully the music isn't too loud. Hopefully the audio is good. Alright guys, so gonna go over a couple things here. Spotting Bitcoin patterns. First off, we're gonna go over this price channel here that we have been following for the past few live streams that we've been doing. So we're still in this channel. Had a couple attempts to break above, had a break below. You know, I guess it was earlier today. We had this break above here, but that failed, and we came back down. And the support isn't looking all that strong. Although, you know, a break to the upside of this channel is definitely a possibility. You know, whales can have their way with the price if they want to. But one of the main things I wanted to look at here, guys, was hopefully, you guys, my audio is good. Let me know if my audio is good. Hopefully my audio is good. But the this pattern right here, guys, is it's crazy how similar this is. Like I just like realized this today, because I know I was watching this. So you know, our price channel looks like this, which is obviously still in play. But you have these two wedges, and we had this wedge. You know, after that 6K drop, you had this wedge right here. And it's crazy similar to what we're seeing now, right? So you had the price break up here. You know, you had a low point set here, low point set here. Price comes up, you know, get to that reversal, and then here you have 1, 2, 3 touches to the bottom of the wedge, and then a bounce out. And it's crazy, guys, how similar this is. You have that first low set there, 1, 2, and I'm thinking we get a third touch. You know, past performance does not guarantee future performance at all. That, you know, just because it happened here does not mean it's going to happen here, so don't get me wrong. But you also have to realize that Bitcoin is being traded by bots and algorithms like crazy, and they seem to have figured out how to get the most money out of people. And I think there's a lot of reoccurring patterns in Bitcoin that we see, and I think it is possible for another leg down. So, you know, and here's really the craziest part about it, guys. So okay, so yeah, it seems similar when you're looking at it that perspective, but look at it again from this perspective. This is the 6 hour. The price comes down, and you have this pump, sell-off, pump, reversal. Pump, sell-off, pump, reversal. Literally almost in the same place, guys. This is during consensus. Remember how we had that crazy up and down swing? Literally, same thing happens here. Come down, you pump, sell-off, pump, falls, makes that next low. Pump, sell-off, pump, falls, makes that next low. So, I'm just saying, guys, like, these patterns are crazy similar. So I would not be surprised to see us coming down to this area here, and getting a bounce out, and, you know, having something like this happen where we bounce out, and you know, you get like a little sell-off, a little pump, and then, you know, ultimately it falls back down. You know, this is a very, very likely scenario here, guys, because just the way that Bitcoin's trading, the way the volume is, like, it's almost identical at this point, guys. You had this huge sell-off here. Same thing happened right here in the same exact fashion, guys. It is honestly pretty crazy how similar this is. With that low here, touch the low 1, 2, 3 times, and I think we're going to get a 1, 2, 3, and then a break out of the wedge. A break out of the wedge, so a short-term bullish movement once we hit $7,700 is my expectation, guys. I think we're going to get a, hit 7,700, and then we're going to get like a nice pump out of the wedge, squeeze ourselves out of the wedge, and then get rejected somewhere up here, and probably come back down. Because as you guys know, I'm pretty bearish on Bitcoin overall, but it's pretty darn interesting to see how crazy similar these patterns are. Crypto Cali's back. Oh, what's up, man? It's good to see you. It's been a while since I saw you, actually. I'm glad to see you here, though. I'm streaming on the U.S. time now. Sometimes I'm streaming at like 5 a.m. for my European folks, but yeah, guys, I just wanted to go over this. It's the way that Bitcoin is trading is the patterns are just reoccurring patterns, guys. It's these algorithms, it's these bots. It's crazy. So Jason says, I'm going to try to join Philly Bitcoin on this next one. So yeah, guys, so like when you're looking at the channel, like how we've been looking at it before, like this, I don't personally see a break above right now. I don't personally see us popping out of this channel just yet, although I'm not saying it's not possible. I think at some point we're going to pop out of here, whether it's up or down, obviously, but I don't think we're going to get a breakout just yet. I think we are going to return to the, right there. We're going to cover this area again. And just how, most wedges work in this way, where they retrace into that downward momentum. They retrace, they basically just squeeze into a point, like we see that here. See it here. Prices squeezed down together first, and then they come out. I don't think we're just going to get a rally right here, guys. I think we are going to come back down, hits about $7,700, and we might get a price squeeze at that range, and then we'll pop out of here, have a short-term bullish movement, sort of like what we saw right here. And I think ultimately we will be going down. What the bulls are going to be looking for, guys, is obviously higher lows. So instead of having this happen again, the bulls are going to be hoping for, a low being created here, maybe something like that, a bounce out, and then of course the bulls are going to be wanting that price to build on out. Obviously push for higher highs. That is what the bullish traders, investors are going to be looking for. And obviously the bears they just want to see this thing fail, and they just want to, honestly, I think technically I am a Bitcoin bear. I am bearish on Bitcoin. And even I think we are going to get a price bounce, short term, very short term, guys. I'm not saying that I'm bullish and we're buying. I just think we're going to come back, retrace to 7,700, squeeze our way out of this channel, and have that, short term bounce just like we saw here. And I think we are going to return to that low, that 6,500 low, guys. I think we're going to return to this. I think we're going to hit this point again, and from there, maybe we get another bounce, and then eventually the market's going to decide which way it wants to go. Personally, I do think it's going to be going to the downside, as you guys all know at this point. I'm bearish on Bitcoin, but I think short-term bounce out of this range is definitely a possibility, even though I don't think it's going to happen right now. I think we're actually not going to break out of it right now. I think we are going to retrace to about $7,700, guys, right to this bottom support area, and then the price will squeeze. That's the bullish scenario, guys. Obviously, the bearish scenario is that we break to the downside of this, and we just recover that short squeeze area. Once we get past $7,700, guys, to this point, there's really not much support. So if the price breaks out of this wedge and breaks through that 7,700 or 7,400 area, we're going to find ourselves down at that 6,500 mark very quickly. But I don't think it's going to happen like that. I think we are going to get a short-term bounce, another bull fake out. Of course, if you're buying down here, you might make money, you might not. I'm not advising you to buy. I'm not a financial advisor, guys. But I think another retrace down to $7,700 and then a bounce out of the wedge for short-term, and then, we're going to find ourselves back at this $6,500 low. Capritio is saying, what do I think of Tether? I think Tether is horrible for crypto. It doesn't make any sense to me, guys. I mean, USDT is very useful, guys. It's a useful thing to have. You know, just so you're not holding, you know, if Bitcoin's going down, being volatile, whatever, you can just put your money USDT and your value stays the same. I mean, that's, you know, it's a great use case, but it's not based on anything, guys. USDT is not based on anything at all. It's literally fake money. And for some reason, crypto exchanges are accepting Tether, which is just ridiculous. I mean, for them as individuals, they can literally buy Bitcoin for free by just using the Tether that they printed, that exchanges are accepting, and buying Bitcoin with it. So for them, it's fantastic. They're literally printing money out of thin air, guys. But for us, it's going to cause horrible repercussions, guys. Crypto Cali says I'm putting in like $50 on the dips and waiting for the right price to go in big. Yeah, that's a good idea. It's a good idea, guys, because it's not a guarantee that we're going below 6,000. It's never a guarantee. I'm not guaranteeing anything, but I think it's very likely. But just in case, you know, what you're saying here, I'm putting in $50 on the dips and waiting for the price before I go in big. That's a good strategy. There's nothing wrong with that at all. I want it to go down. I'm still in fiat. Yeah, I mean, I think we're going to get a continued movement down. Unless you're an experienced trader, I wouldn't advise playing around with these swings, guys. But I do think we are going to get something similar to this. We're going to get a rally out of the wedge and then get rejected at this level, probably that level right there. Not as high, a little bit lower than it was. I mean, we could get rejected even earlier, possibly, like in here. Get like a bounce down, come up, you know, and then retrace back, something like that. Because we've been on the down low, on the downswing for quite some time now. So you know, a little like an opposite reaction, market bouncing back is very likely. But we'll find out, guys. If we don't get a bounce out of this wedge, if the price does not squeeze its way out of this wedge to the upside and we just drop down, that's like a very, very bearish indication for Bitcoin, guys. I would expect that at least there is some level of bullishness after we have had this drop off. You know, I think we're going to retrace back to 7,700 before we bounce out of here, guys. But we will see. You know, the volume isn't all that bullish right now, but you know, if you can get some whales to step in. So a whale can step in and pop this thing out of the wedge. It's definitely a possibility, but I think we'll get one more retrace back to 7,700, have a short bullish bounce out of here. It might be a little higher than this. It might be like $8,800, I think. Bounce up to 8,800, then curl over and back down, guys. That is kind of what I'm expecting at this point. Nothing to see here says the volume looks pretty weak today, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. It does look pretty weak, honestly. I mean, you can see the volume fizzling out. You can see that it's fizzling out. Like, look at that down there, guys. The average amount of volume is decreasing. So I think there's a lack of interest in Bitcoin right now. Of course, if the price pumps out of here right now, guys, that'll create some demand, create some interest. But I mean, looking at this volume here, it really doesn't look all that great. One thing you'll notice is the tops, guys. Whenever the price peaks out, it's always a huge volume spike, and that's just the trading algorithms, you know, causing that. They basically just pump it so that everyone gets excited and money flows in, and that's when they cash out and the price will roll over. That's how these trading algorithms work. They sacrifice some money so that they can cash out of their larger positions, get people excited. It happens like literally every time, guys. You have these like big spikes, volume, and then the price just comes back down. Big spike, price comes back down. It happens a lot. It happens a lot in Bitcoin. But either way, guys, even if we do break out of this wedge now, which is possible, I think we are going to get rejected. Probably $8,800 is what I'm thinking is resistance. Maybe 9,000. You know, maybe the price crosses 9,000 again and then curls over, but what I personally see as the next move, guys, is a retrace to 7,700, bounce out of this wedge, short-term bullish scenario, and then retracing back to the $6,500 level. Another bull fake out is what I expect, guys. But that's just my opinion. That's just my personal analysis.
Go gentle into that good night.
So we'll see now, guys. We were hitting this resistance. What was the last resistance we were talking about? I think it was...
Rage against the tide.
We were looking at... I think it was 8120, if I remember that correctly.
Their end, no dark is right.
Oh yeah, it was
Into that good night.
this right here. I think that was the last stream. We were watching the price come down here. We had that break up, or what is it right here? You know, held below that 8120 mark, and then eventually popped out. And now we had some sideways trading, and then very low volume, and then we just had this huge pump to try to break us out of this wedge. I think this was kind of a fake out, honestly, and I think this is too. I don't really see enough volume here, guys, but you know, you never know what whales are going to decide to do, what these bots are going to decide to do. Yeah, but this is really, for those of you, anyone who just joined the stream, this is that pattern I'm looking at, guys. Some crazy similarities between these two patterns. If you guys can see that. So check this out, guys. So the wedge gets created on this first run up. You have this, you know, falling price here, similar to this. You create that first low, get that run up, and then a sell off. 1, 2, 3 hits to the downside. So we have 1, 2 so far. I'm expecting something similar to happen. So I kind of think we're gonna hit 7,700 before we bounce out here. We could bounce out now. We'll see. But here's really the kicker, guys. Just like, this is during consensus right here, guys. That area. If you look at this price action, it's literally identical. It's crazy. Look, you have the price falls off, slowly makes its way up. You get a dump, a pump, and a dump. Same thing here, guys. Price falls off, finds its way up, a dump, pump, and a dump. Literally in the exact same fashion. See that? Falls almost in the same zone too. This one's a little bit lower than this one, but do you see that? Like it's just, it is so strange, guys. It is so strange, and that's what, you know, bots and algorithms really do have a huge role in the Bitcoin market. Yeah, I mean the market is so. Kevin Thrasher says that's the most plausible way to manipulate the market. Yeah, the market is Bitcoin market is very manipulated, guys. The supply is owned by just a small group of people. You gotta keep that in mind. That's why it's so irrational. Because it's controlled by a few. But guys, I'm just like, if you have your own charts, guys, just check this out for yourself. See how like this falling wedge pattern here is so similar. It's very strange. So we'll see, guys. We are coming up on that resistance, the top of the channel. This channel that we've been looking at right here. Coming up on that. So we'll see. Doesn't really look like enough to break. I think we'll probably curl over again, but we'll see. Getting rejected here now. Yeah, it seems like the resistance levels are sort of going to start curling over. Jason says, I think historically consensus was followed by growth of 30 to 45 days after consensus, no guarantee of repeat. Yeah, I mean, guys, all the previous consensus, like all the previous events happened during, you know, during this whole thing. And, you know, once we hit 20,000, the whole thing shifted to, you know, there was definitely a shift in the way that people started trading Bitcoin, the sentiment for Bitcoin. You know, I don't necessarily think it's going to react in the same way. Kind of like what you're saying, Jason. There's no guarantee of it acting in the same way. And I don't think it will. I don't think just because consensus happened that we're going to have a run up just because of an event. Doesn't really make sense to me. But yeah, guys, mainly I just wanted to show you guys, keep an eye on this. Keep an eye on these patterns. because they are so crazy similar. It's just weird. And if, you know, if this pattern is going to play out the same way this one did, which is not a guarantee at all, but it would look something like this. You know, maybe we actually go higher. Maybe we go up to this area here. Something like that. You know, and eventually price falls off just like this. It's not a guarantee at all, guys. I'm not saying this is exactly what's going to happen, but definitely a possibility. Retrace to 7,700 and then bounce out of the wedge, curl over, fall back to 6,500, and then from there we'll see what happens. Once we get to 6,500, guys, of course there will be a bounce back. You're going to have some sort of rebound. You know, maybe the market plays around a little bit, consolidates in this range, and then once we get here, guys, it's either going to be a breakup or a breakdown. And I, of course, believe we're going to get a breakdown. But yeah, guys, I wasn't intending to make this a really long stream. There's not really there's not really anything exciting going on right now in the market. Usually I like to go live when things are happening, but I kind of just figured I'd go live now just to show you guys that I'm expecting a retrace and then probably a short-term bullish bounce, and then a return to this key 6,500, 6,000, 6,500 support level. And then, you know, from there, who knows, guys? It's so hard to predict exactly what's going to happen, when it's going to happen. I don't think we're just going to go sideways like this. I think there will be, you know, if we do this, guys, we bounce out and we just get rejected again. A lot of confidence is going to be lost. People are not going to be sure about what's going on. So I would just be careful. Because, like, if we get back down to this level, then, guys, everybody who bought from mid-November, even all in here, they're all down. If we get back here, guys, nobody made money. No bulls made money if we get back to 6,500 since that top. Of course, obviously, bulls made money, you know. But I'm talking about the general population did not make money on Bitcoin if we get back to this level. And I think that's going to destroy the confidence, and that would probably cause us to create the next bear cycle. But yeah, I mean, we've been falling for how long now? What day is it? May 19th? So we've been falling since May 4th? So yeah, guys, a short-term bounce out of this wedge is definitely a possibility. But remember, guys, I made a video right here, right on this bounce. I made a video right there called "Is this the bottom?" And I was basically explaining, no, I don't think it's the bottom. Which for the short term, it wasn't. You know, we fell back over and we created this low here. And I think it's going to be a similar scenario, guys. We're going to get a bounce out of this wedge, and it's not going to be the bottom. I think the sentiment for Bitcoin is just gone at this point. I mean, the positive sentiment for Bitcoin is really fading at this point, guys. The general population, you know, when Bitcoin was riding, guys, over here, when it was just chugging along, you know, it was because everybody was making money on Bitcoin, and everybody was telling their friends about how they were making money on Bitcoin, and everybody was making money. Like, it didn't, like, everybody was a genius, you know what I mean? Like, everybody was just putting their money in, they were putting their work paychecks in, and just the money was flowing. And, you know, Thanksgiving came around, people told their friends, and everyone just started buying Bitcoin, and you had this insane run up. And, you know, that's not happening anymore, guys. People aren't making money like that anymore in Bitcoin at the moment. So I think that's going to cause these price levels to not hold up. I think we are going to return. And I think things like Tether are going to actually, we're going to finally see the impact of fake money being pumped into the crypto market. We will probably finally see the impact of that, the repercussions for basically monopoly money being involved in crypto. And I think it's super unhealthy for the crypto market, guys. You know, things like Tether are just insane. Like, I think every exchange should be ashamed of themselves for accepting Tether, guys. It's just ridiculous. I mean, for them it's great because they make shitloads of money. You can just buy Bitcoin with fake money. I mean, like, guys, do you really trust this? If Tether really did play a part in pumping this up and propping up these prices with literally just putting fake money in the market, do you trust that? I don't. That's just me though. So volume is kind of fizzling out now. We are touching the top of or reaching the top of this wedge. And here's that price channel we've been looking at. Coming to this area, guys. So, you know, a breakout of here is possible, but again, even if we do break out, I do expect us to find that short-term bullish movement, find that resistance, and curl back over. I don't think there's any sort of significant news for Bitcoin right now that it's going to change the sentiment of the way people think, create demand. I don't see that in the near future, guys. Not yet. I think we're going to see another long-term bear market. I mean, this isn't even long-term, guys. This is only December. This is like not even a long-term thing. So I think long-term we're going to see us move down a few more levels, bottom out. You know, of course, my personal prediction is 2,500, but it could be anywhere between 1,800 and 4,500. That's what I personally think. But I think 2,500 is my personal prediction, guys. We'll find that bottom there, and eventually we'll hit higher highs, and we'll you know, eventually, maybe in a year or two, we'll find ourselves back at the at the highs, eventually. But I think not before we see a little bit more blood. I think people really need to feel the repercussions of just this overblown market. Because, you know, even if we do bounce out now, guys, even if we do just bounce out of here, you know, let's just, like, I'm just doing this as an example, guys. Even if we just bounce out, there's a lot of people still holding onto their Bitcoin, and it's actually gonna hold the market back. When all these people are sitting on just hodling, and the price goes back up, everyone's going to be sitting on profits, and it's actually going to be harder to get to those highs again than it would be if we actually sold off to lower lows and then slingshotted our way back. Because, you know, the only thing that's going to happen now, if we get a bull market now, the only thing that's going to create is just more people that are going to sell. And it's not going to really progress the market that much. If we come back to these lows, guys, and we bottom out, anybody who's going to sell already did, and then the only thing that's left at that point, guys, is buyers. And if we get to those low points, the only thing left is buyers, and it's gonna be like the same thing, guys. It's gonna be, you know, we're gonna go to a super low point, in my opinion, but at the same time, we're gonna fly out of there. Like, it's just, nobody's going to be left to sell. The only people left are going to be buyers, and the demand is going to be sky high again, and, you know, we're going to fly out of here. But I think not after a good long-term bear market. Of course, I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong, and we just moon. You know, we just start building here, guys, and we just, you know, something like this. But I don't think so, guys. I think that's just too perfect. But I could be wrong. I don't think the demand and the use case is there just yet, but Jose is back. What's up, dude? My buy orders didn't get hit. Where are your buy orders at right now? So yeah, Jose, I was just showing everybody the similarities here between these two wedges. You know, you had the top part of the wedge created, and you had that low set here with a bounce, and then we returned to the bottom of the, you know, created that bottom of the wedge here. You know, sorry, right here, touched 1, 2, 3 times, and then broke out of the wedge. I think we could see something similar here. Touch 1, 2, and then one more pullback 3 times, and break out of that wedge possibly. It's just a possibility, guys. 782.50. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that could be good. For a short term. 782.50, yeah. But I'm thinking, basically, guys, it's going to be something like this happen here again. That's really what it comes down to. But anyway, guys, I don't want to make this stream too long. You know, thanks for tuning in again. I'm going to be doing a lot more live streams, of course. But, you know, I don't want to make this too long, guys. I just wanted to show you guys the similarities between these two price movements here, and just how crazy similar they are, and maybe just, you know, what could you expect? You know, just something like this again happening here. Short-term bounce, rejection, back to the middle. And I think from there on, Bitcoin's price action is going to become a little less volatile until we have a major sell-off. Can you see ETH charts this time? Well, let's find out. Oh, I can see ETH charts this time. Wait, what am I looking? Wait, hold on. So 700. What time frame is that? 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Just looking at the similarities here, guys. You can just see, like, here's Bitcoin, here's Ethereum. It's crazy. Just it's like literally the same thing. So if I look at the 4-hour chart on Ethereum, 4-hour chart on Bitcoin, Ethereum's a little bit more, slightly more bullish, I think, in just the momentum. Because, you know, the lows are, you know, you're getting sort of a little bit of more of a price squeeze on Ethereum than you are on Bitcoin. So we'll see, guys. You know, Ethereum's market cap is big enough to lead the way. Ethereum's market cap is about half the size of Bitcoin's, so it has enough power to lead the way. So if we saw a major pump in Ethereum, it could cause a catalyst for Bitcoin. You know, Litecoin has led the way before. I've even seen Litecoin cause breakouts in Bitcoin and everything else. But we'll see, guys. Volume is decreasing right now. Sort of fizzling out a little bit. But usually that'll indicate either a break up or a breakdown. When volume gets really thin like that, usually something's about to happen. So, you know, some people might say, all right, this is our support. You know, we're going to break out from here. It's possible. We might pop out here or break down from here and just, you know, break the channel from now. But I think $7,700 personally, guys, it's not a guarantee. I don't like doing short-term predictions. I'm just doing it because I know you want to see it. But I think $7,700 is my short-term support target before we break out of the wedge. So this is pretty much the most bullish thing I can see Bitcoin doing right now. But for anybody, guys, I'm not going to go on with the stream too much longer, but for anyone who just joined the stream, we're looking at just the similarities between these prices, this price action, these wedges. You know, sort of, if history was going to repeat itself, we would get one more touch to the downside of this wedge, break out, have that short-term bullish action, and then return to the middle price here. That's 6,000, 6,500 mark. And then from there, we'll see what happens in the short term. But yeah, guys, just keep an eye on these patterns. There is someone behind you, Kevin. It's just my shadow, guys. Jose, you're trying to scare me, dude. You almost did. What if there actually was somebody behind me right now? I was kind of hoping we would either get a major price break up or a rejection right now, but it doesn't seem like that's going to happen anytime soon. But we will see, guys. I think we'll probably get rejected, come down to 7,700. But yeah, guys, that's about it. I think I'm going to end the stream now. So I appreciate all you guys tuning in. Who's all back? Crypto Cali, Caprithio, nothing to see here. Kevin Thrasher, Jason, Jose. You guys are awesome, guys. I love hearing your opinions too. It's fun to get your guys' opinions and like you guys telling me where your buy orders are at. It actually helps me when I see what other people are doing. That's why I talk to a lot of traders, because you know you find out what they're doing, what they're trying to, you know, what their mindset is like, and you can kind of predict the market even a little bit better when you actually talk to other traders. Yeah, guys, I appreciate it a lot. I'm probably gonna end the stream now, but I'll be, you know, if something crazy happens, I'll probably be live. So we are squeezing to the top of this wedge, but we'll see. The volume's so weak right now. Look at that. Look at that. Very weak volume right now, guys. But you never know, guys. Whales are crazy. Whales make things happen. Yeah, Jose is saying we all know that we're going to have a decent bounce soon. Yeah, I mean, we've been going down for so long. I mean, I would not be surprised for a bounce. It could be now. It could be, you know, one more leg down, then breakout. But we'll see, guys. I appreciate you all joining the stream. And I will be live again if something crazy happens. Maybe I'll just go live tomorrow, whatever. We'll see what happens, guys. Depending on what happens, I'll go live. But thanks for joining the stream, and I will see you soon.